SEO, search engine optimization. If you're not already implementing this into your property management marketing, then you are missing out. But that is why I'm here to help you. I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about search engine optimization and how it helps property management companies grow and succeed. So what is SEO? Well, in simple terms, property management SEO is the practice of optimizing your property management website in order to have it rank higher on search engines. If you're a property management company, it's important to monitor your website's SEO to make sure that you're ranking high in search engine results. By doing this, there is a high chance that someone will click on the link from your property management website instead of another link. This is essential for your company because it has the potential to ramp up traffic to your websites, thus making you more money. So first, let's go over what kind of things affect SEO. There are various factors that affect how effective SEO actually is. To make your website rank as high as possible in search engine results, it's important to consider all of these factors and work them into your plan. Some of the most important things to consider when trying to optimize your website for search engines are searchers' keywords, new content, and page speed. First, searchers' keywords. One of the most important factors to consider when optimizing your website is keywords. When someone's doing a simple Google search, for example, they use certain keywords. The top websites that come up with the search are the ones that use the keywords in the best way. The order in which the websites show up or the search engine rankings depend on how relevant the content is to the keywords. The more relevant your content is to what the searcher is looking for, the higher it'll land in the search engine. This could mean a lot for property management websites because it could drive loads of potential clients to your business. Property managers can use lists of popular keywords for their content to help increase their search engine rankings. These lists come with the number of keywords that people tend to search up more often than others, which should always be included in your content. Also, you may find that some may be a long tail keyword or a short tail keyword. However, as the algorithms for SEO have gotten more sophisticated, they've been able to detect what's called keyword stuffing. Keyword stuffing is the practice of filling your content with certain keywords to try to land it higher on the rankings. Years ago, this method would have actually worked because the algorithm was not able to pick up on these tactics, but nowadays search engine algorithms have gotten more advanced, and this method of keyword stuffing can actually hurt the website's ranking. Another factor is new content. Apart from showing the most relevant information, search engines also show the most recent information. As a property manager or owner of a property management company, you should be putting out new, fresh content regularly in order to increase your SEO for property management. The search engine algorithms are on the search for a property management website that puts out new content consistently. One great example of content that can be put out consistently is blog posts. These are a great way to add tons of content to your property management website that cater to your whole target audience. For example, you can write a blog post to property owners about the best rental property management softwares, or for property managers about SEO tips for your property management business, kind of like this video and the corresponding blog that goes with this video. These blog posts can continually help increase your property management SEO. And the last factor is page speed. Since one of the goals of the search engine's algorithm is to improve the user's experience, and a higher page speed achieves just that. The reason for the page speed being so important is mainly because of user abandonment. Google studies have shown that users tend to abandon a website after only 3 seconds of waiting. Google does not reward these websites with high SEO rankings because they provide a negative user experience. For this reason, it's so important to make sure that all of your website content and the media loads very quickly. This will ensure a user-friendly experience that search engines will rank higher in the SEO rankings. It's also important to make sure that your website is also mobile-friendly, as many search engine activity comes from mobile phones. Not sure how to check this statistic? Well, one very useful tool for checking your web vitals is Google's Core Web Vitals report. This report gives a full analysis of how quickly and efficiently your page loads. This is a good indicator of how your website will rank among the other websites because, as mentioned before, higher speeds equals higher SEO rankings. Now that we know the most important things to consider when optimizing your website, let's get into some tips on how to actually do it. So here's 5 SEO tips for property management companies. First, changing alt text and file names. If your website has any images or media on it, you may be missing out on some points for SEO ranking. When you upload a file to your property management website, it's important to look at the file name at the time of the upload. Although it might sound kind of weird, the file name has a big effect on the SEO rankings. The reason for this is that when the search engine algorithm goes through your website, they need to have a way to know what the media is. They do this by checking the file names and the alt text. Another useful tip to utilize when trying to increase your search engine rankings is to use local SEO. Local SEO is when you use your location and attract visitors from around your area. For example, if someone in Miami, Florida searches best property management company, they're going to get completely different results compared to if they searched for it in another city. One tool that's useful for increasing your local SEO is called Google My Business. This tool allows you to create a complete profile for your business. The profile includes information like your website, location, and other important details. Also, it may be a good idea to combine local SEO with pay-per-click advertising in order to increase local organic visitors. Pay-per-click advertising is a method that advertises a link to your website on a search engine and charges a fee every time someone clicks on it. Although this may be a pricey option, it could greatly affect your company's exposure. Third tip is changing meta descriptions. Although meta descriptions are not necessarily ranked by search engines for SEO, they are still important for driving visitors to your website. Meta descriptions are that short description that is shown under the SEO title in search engines. A good meta description should be a short, detailed description of the contents of the website. It should contain information that attracts more visitors to your site. It's also important that it's not too long because it may get cut off. A good practice is to always include keywords in the meta description to get the attention of the searcher. Another aspect of your website that has an impact on your SEO rankings is your URL slug. Your URL slug is a section of your website's link that follows the /. A good URL slug contains the keywords, but is not too long. A good practice is to keep the URL slug to under 50 characters. To increase property management SEO, you should only use letters and avoid special characters, numbers, or uppercase letters. This section of your property management website is crucial for increasing your SEO ranking because it is the first thing the search engine reads. After they read the slug, they know whether or not the content is about what they're searching for. And the last tip is to include SEO titles. When optimizing your webpage, it is vital to include an SEO title that is attractive to visitors and the search engine algorithms. These titles, also called header tags, catch a visitor's attention and help them understand what is going to be discussed in this article. This is especially important when publishing content like blog posts. It's important to include keywords that you are focused on in the SEO title in order to attract more visitors and increase your SEO ranking as well. And when it comes to gaining more exposure for your website, optimizing your SEO is crucial. It is a modern method that can revolutionize the number of visitors that get to your site. And with the increased stream of visitors comes more money to the company. And finally, as important as this method is to increase organic traffic, it isn't the only factor that you should consider to increase business. There are dozens of other factors to consider when trying to drive business, like converting visitors to actual clients. If any of these strategies seem confusing or you want to learn more about property management websites, then make sure to hit subscribe to get caught up on everything that you need to know about property management. And if this video helped, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!